In just one day across the entire United States, the National Network to End Domestic Violence helped 79,088 victims. Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. I'm Emma Grace Myers. I am here at the Grand Central Mall for the WTAP and Grand Central Mall Telethon for North Star. If you don't know what North Star is, they provide a safe, child-friendly place for children who have experienced abuse. So this island is crucial to American history. Before it was known as Blennerhassett Island, it was home to Native Americans. However, our story today is going to start in 1798 when wealthy Irish aristocrats purchased the land, and they were Margaret and Harmon Blennerhassett. Life for the Blennerhassetts went south in 1805 when they let this estate become headquarters for Aaron Burr's military expedition to the southwest. One aspect that people may not think about when it comes to domestic violence is the impact on children. Oftentimes, witnessing or experiencing domestic violence can have long-term and short-term impacts on a child's physical and mental health. If you're in the market to buy a home, there's some good news. The National Association of Realtors predicts we'll see more homes listed for sale this spring. Of course. So can you talk a little bit about why for you as a local government representative it's important to support organizations like North Star? 1 in 9 adolescents between the ages of 12 and 17 have serious thoughts of suicide each year. Many schools are under-equipped with less than the recommended amount of counselors per student. I spoke with a school counselor here at Hamilton Middle School about what signs parents should look for if they're worried about their child and some of the resources they have for students. The American School Counselor Association recommends that for every 250 students, there should be one counselor. However, for Hamilton Middle School counselor Christina Bixman, she's in charge of almost 600 students.
There's just the influx of mental health needs we just can't seem to meet with staffing. So a lot of it is just triage, like what fire needs to be put out first and foremost before you get into just like the regular maintenance of students' mental health.
She predominantly sees female students with self-injury behaviors, though it does happen in male students as well. One thing that has impacted self-injury behaviors is social media. Everything they could want to look up is immediately accessible, and they are always accessible via social media.
So if you're already having a problem at school, you go home and you've got text messages or Snapchats or whatever else they're using, and it's just like, it's constant and it's really, really hard for them to be able to say, okay, I need to turn my phone off and put it away.
When a student either self-reports an NSSI or is reported by another friend or teacher, Bixman starts a conversation with the student about what they are doing and whether the physical health standards need to be met, such as cleaning the wound. She then works to discuss what is causing them to use NSSI as a coping mechanism.
So then I'll call the parent, let them know, kind of what we discussed, give them some tips to speak to their teen when they get home or if they need to come get them.
As a parent, you may wonder what you can do if you suspect your child is self-harming. Bixman says it can be difficult as teens are good at covering things up that they don't want people to see. While she notes the obvious physical signs such as uniform cuts or burns that don't seem to come from normal bumps and bruises, one of the other important things to note is isolation.
And so checking in on them other than the, hey, how was school today? Really make a pointed question to, hey, which class was your favorite today and why? And things like that to help engage a little bit more, maybe keep them out of their room and in with the family a little more.
Another important resource is the 988 Suicide and Crisis Hotline. This hotline is available 24/7 and allows students to text or call and talk about what they are experiencing, even if they don't have access to a therapist or school counselor. Bixman says the most important thing for parents to remember if their child is struggling with mental health issues are open communication and social media usage.
Always keeping that line of communication open because it takes them a while to warm up to things. So if they know that they can trust you, that's really the best thing because then they will trust you and they'll tell you the really important stuff as well as like some of the fun stuff, which is the cool part about being a parent and monitoring your teen's use on their phone. Block stuff, don't let them go to sleep with it.
More resources are available in our online article at WTAP.com. Reported in Parkersburg for WTAP News, I'm Emma Grace Myers. With homeschool, obviously you're saying you're hoping that is going to jump up in enrollment. It has a lot less oversight than some private and public schools. And so how is your office and the legislature ensuring that those Hope Scholarship funds are being used correct? The stock market rebounded following the ceasefire. The Dow soared, the S&P 500 jumped, and the NASDAQ is up. But the question now, will the higher prices on Main Street reverse? New tensions in the Strait of Hormuz as an uneasy ceasefire may be in jeopardy. Amid the president's plan to guide ships through the war-torn strait, Iran state media reported that U.S. Navy ships were fired upon, which CENTCOM proudly denies. A U.S. official also denies that any U.S. Navy ships were denied access to the Strait of Hormuz by Iran on Monday. Meanwhile, the president is gambling on a risky new Hormuz strategy as gas prices surge up more than 30 cents over the weekend and about $1 in some parts of the Midwest. To talk about last night's State of the Union address, joining us today is WTAP's Washington correspondent Stephen Going in our D.C. newsroom. WVU recently announced their new president. Michael T. Benson has joined me this morning to tell me a little bit about himself and his plans for WVU. Thanks for being here today.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
So to kick us off, what are some of your goals for WVU? Rising gas prices are already squeezing U.S. households. Now, economists say a prolonged conflict with Iran could make the job hunt tougher too. If you haven't taken time to visit Blennerhassett Island, you're definitely missing out. I headed out to the island to show you how to plan a perfect day at the museum and the state park. You're going to want to start your day here at the museum, which is located at 137 Juliana Street. Once you head through these doors, there's a whole lot of different things you can look at. To kick off, down in the basement, they have a 15-minute video explaining the Blennerhassetts and their history. Then, as you move through the museum, you can see more than just things about the family, but pieces of local history as well. With 2 floors of items, plaques, exhibits, and displays, you can learn everything from how the local railroad functioned to seeing the desk of the first governor of West Virginia. Once you get your fill of the museum, you can head right down the street towards the flood wall and get your tickets for the ferry ride right here at the Convention and Visitors Bureau. Tickets for the boat ride are $12 and the ride takes about 20 minutes. Once you are on the island, you can purchase tickets for other activities, such as the wagon ride and tours of the mansion. Craig Pyle, superintendent for Blennerhassett Island Historic State Park, says it really takes you back to the 1800s.
Oh, it's a total unique experience in itself. Even though you're in the middle of the Ohio River, time does seem to slow down when you're on the island. And we also have guided tours by costume docents that will fill you in on the history and also show you all the antiques that we have in the Blennerhassett Mansion.
If you are planning a trip with your family, you may even want to pack a picnic to enjoy on the grounds. For those with mobility issues or strollers, the island is generally pretty level, and the walkways are graveled. They also have a golf cart available that can take those with mobility issues around the island. Coming up for West Virginia Day on June 20th, they are hosting a day full of activities in partnership with the Blennerhassett chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution.
We hope to help people understand the meaning of the American flag. We're hoping to do some open hearth cooking, candle dip making. We'll have a washboard demonstration so the kids can appreciate their washing machines today. We're going to do a quill riding station, spinning wheel demonstrations, blacksmith demonstrations.
Then, after West Virginia Day, they gear up for the ringing of the bell on July 4th.
The 25th anniversary that we've participated in this program. We ring our bell on the island the same time that the Liberty Bell is rung in Philadelphia and other churches throughout the United States.
And finally, they have their candlelight event on October 9th and 10th, with tickets going on sale on August 1st. The island is open Tuesday through Sunday. The first boat departs at 10 a.m. and leaves every hour on the hour until 3 p.m. The first boat departs the island at 10:30 a.m. and leaves every hour at the half hour until 4:30 p.m. Now, with America 250 right around the corner, you can get a taste of history right here in the Mid-Ohio Valley. Here on Blennerhassett Island, for WTAP News, I'm Emma Grace Myers. Yeah, unfortunately, we have the showers instead, which is unfortunate for me and my lack of rain here.
Don't forget that umbrella.
Umbrella I don't own and a raincoat I never wear. But that's it for WTAP News at noon today. Our next newscast is tonight at 5. Henry and I will see you again tomorrow morning. Have a great day, everyone.